Dreamer. Welcome back to another episode of the Dear Dreamer podcast. I'm your host, Candace Kamille, and I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that I'm here. I'm glad that we are here together. I'm glad that we get to have another conversation. I'm glad that we get to talk about our dreams. I'm glad that we get to dive into another subject, another thing that is going to help us to be the dreamer who is able to build the dream, right? So excited about that. So here's a question to kick off our conversation. Have you ever found yourself doubting your abilities or questioning your path to achieving your dreams? Guess what? It's a common struggle. You're not alone. There are other people who are dealing with this. There are other people who have dealt with this, myself included, right? Hi, my name is Candace, and sometimes I deal with doubt, and sometimes I deal with fear, sometimes more often than others, right? So I want us to talk about that today. And I want to talk about some tools and some resources that we can use to put fear and doubt in the back seat and stop letting them drive our car, right? But be able to navigate it when it comes because it's going to come, it's going to pop up, right? But we get to navigate how we can move through it, right? How we can push past it, right? How we can quiet some of the thoughts, some of the worries, some of the fears, some of the anxieties in our heads when they do come, right? So I know that I have incredible potential within me. I know that you have incredible potential within you. Know that God has called and created us to do amazing things in this world. And I want to make sure that we are able to be the dreamer, to build the dream, right? To do the things that God has called us to do and to not let things like fear and doubt hold us back from doing those things, from carrying out those dreams, right? So here's the deal. Grab your dream journal. If you don't have if you don't have a dream journal, this is a great opportunity for you to get one, right? This is an excellent opportunity for you to invest in a dream journal because there are going to be things that you're going to want to write about. The dreams that God may give you while you're sleeping that you get to write about in your dream journal, right? And the things that God will give you in your waking hours that you're supposed to carry out that you can write in your dream journal, right? God is always giving us something, right? And especially as dreamers, right? God is giving us dreams that we get to carry out, that we get to build, that we get to um, make into whatever it is that He's called us and created us to do with that, right? But sometimes if we don't write the vision, we can't make it plain. So we get the opportunity to write the vision and make it clean, make it plain. So here's the thing. Grab your cup, whatever your favorite beverage is, whatever you want to drink. Today is water for me. Water with a little bit of lemon juice, right? I feel like being clean today. I feel like just drinking something that makes me feel good. But let me know in the comments, what is your favorite beverage? What is the thing that you are going to sip on while we're talking today? Um, are you a coffee person? Are you a tea person? Are you a water person? What do you like to sip on? I'm all of the above. Coffee, tea, and water. Those are those are my all of the above. Coffee, tea, and water. Depending on the day, right? But I want to hear from you. What is the thing in your cup right now? What are you drinking? And let's just dive into the conversation. Okay, so let's start with a simple question for reflection. I really want you to think about this. Why do you doubt yourself? Why do you doubt yourself? Is it because of fear of failure? Is it comparison with others? Are there nagging feelings of inadequacy that you carry with you? What is it for you? Self doubt often sneaks in when we least expect it But it is essential, it is imperative, it is important for us to remember that we are not alone. You are not alone in this struggle. So here's what I want us to do. I want us to do a little exercise. I want us to take a moment to journal our thoughts, right? So get your dream journal and take a moment and write down what your thoughts are on what triggers your doubt and how does it affect your dreams and aspirations. Write down what triggers your doubt and how does it affect your dreams and your aspirations. Go ahead and take a few moments. I'll wait for you. Okay, now that you've reflected on your doubt and your triggers, it's time for us to embrace belief. Trusting in your God given abilities is the first step to conquering doubt. God has given you a unique set of skills, talents, and experiences that make you capable of achieving great things, amazing things. So, whenever self doubt whispers in your ear, counteract it, right? We get to counteract it with a mindset shift, right? So, how can we do that? Great question. Well, one, celebrate your victories, celebrate your wins. We don't often take the time to celebrate the small wins. Sometimes we can be going and going and going and going and going, right? And we've actually made major shifts, but because we don't stop to celebrate the wins, the small wins that have gotten us to that major shift in the process, we don't even think of it as a shift. We don't even see how far we've come, right? And so in my client sessions, it is always my gift and my pleasure to be able to stop my clients in the middle of whatever they're going through, right? To show them where the growth is, where the win is in this moment, and where they get to celebrate, right? So take a moment real quick. What can you celebrate in the last week that reminded you that you've grown, right? What can you celebrate in the last week that reminds you that you are actually moving, right? You're doing the things. It might not be big, big things all at one time, but they're small little wins that go a long way in our journey, right? So I know for me this week, I had a moment where I was able to be reminded of how far I've come. There was an incident that occurred where I could have reacted a whole different way. I could have reacted a whole different way. And I know that there's a version of me that's somewhere deep inside, right? That still lives there, right? And I know she's still there. I know she is still there, right? But in this particular incident, I was able to tell her it's okay. We don't have to react in the same way that others want us to react just because they didn't necessarily wake up on the right side of the bed, right? We don't have to respond in the same way that other people respond. We get to choose to do something different. And so I chose to do something different. Instead of giving the person the same nasty attitude that they were giving me, I chose to say, have a good day and walk out, right? That was a win for me because there were some words I could have said. There were some words I could have said, right? There's some ways I could have reacted. There are some things I could have done that would not have been uh, as well received, right? So um, my mom used to say, "Kill them with kindness, kill them with kindness," and that's what I chose to do this week. I chose, instead of giving back the same, ick that I was getting, I decided to, you know what? Have a good day. Be blessed, and leave. And it was good, right? Now, I'm going to be real 1000 with you, be real honest with you. When I got to my car, I was like, now, God, there's growth here for me. I know, right? But there are definitely some words I wanted to give back in this particular situation. But I'm going to acknowledge the fact that you allowed me to see that I've grown today, right? That I am transforming and that I am not the same person that I used to be, and that um, I get to handle things differently. I get to respond in a different way. And it actually felt, I wasn't mad, not for long. I was able to quickly shift into a different mindset and not even allow that thing to bother me or mess up the rest of my day. Like, it literally was on my mind for 5 minutes. And then I was whatever, right? Um, I get an opportunity to pray for you because there's something clearly going on in your life that causes you to respond in that way, right? So those were the ways that I was able to see that I grew. And so, like, I was, pat myself on the back, not to say that, like, um, anyone who handles the situation any differently is better or worse than. Nope, that's not what I'm saying. Because I just told you that if it was a different day, a different year, maybe even a different month, right? I might not have handled that situation the same way, right? But I'm acknowledging my growth and my win in this moment, right? And so, what did you win in? Where have you seen yourself grow? What changes have you made that you get to acknowledge and that you get to celebrate yourself for? To say, hey, you know what? I'm proud of you. You're not handling everything the same way that you used to, or you did really well in this. Like, you've been consistent and going to the gym, or for the last month, and I'm proud of you for that. Like, where in your life are you forgetting to celebrate your win? Celebrate your win. Celebrate your win, no matter how small. Remember that you get to celebrate your wins, and that helps us to be reminded um, of how far we're coming and how far we've gone and how far we've grown on this journey. And it puts self-doubt in the thoughts that we have in our mind that sometimes can go on their own little adventure in our brains. It kind of quiets them some because we get to see what's different about us, right? So here's another thing. Surround yourself with people who believe and encourage your dreams, right? We talked about that a lot last week. And so I'm not going to, continue to dive in on that real deep, but it does matter. It does matter who your circle is. It does matter who your friends are. It does matter, right? Because your friends are there to help you in the journey. Your friends are there to speak life to you. Your circle is able to pick you up when you're falling, right? Um, I told you guys last week that I heard a sermon from Mike Todd, and he was saying that your circle, can determine how far you fall. We're gonna fall, right? That's the inevitable piece. But how far we fall is contingent on your circle. intentional in your tribe, right? So I'm going to tell you this all the time. But get yourself some believing friends. Get yourself some people who got your back, your front, your side, that pray with you, that pray over you, right? That are speaking life into you and your dreams, that are telling you that you can when you think that you can't, that are helping you and encouraging you, right? Find yourself a tribe that believes that your dreams are possible and want to see you do the things and are able to help you get there one way or another, right? So their support will often act for you as a shield against the doubt, right? I know that when I have moments of doubt, because let's be real, I do have moments of doubt. I do have moments of fear. I do have moments of anxiety, right? When I have moments of doubt, I have a tribe and I can go and we have vulnerable conversations where I'm able to say, hey guys, so this is how I'm feeling today. This is what I'm feeling about. This is where I think it's coming from. I don't really feel good about it. And I wanted to bring it to you guys because I know that this is not even the way that I should be. Not should be. This is not the way I want to think, right? This is not the way I want to think. So can you help me to reframe? Can you help me to reframe my thoughts, right? And we'll go back and forth, right? And it's okay that I might not be at the highest level of thinking in that moment. And they don't judge me for it. And I don't judge them for it when they come with the same things, right? Because we know that we're humans on this experience called life, this journey called life. And we know that in this dreamer journey, right, that sometimes it's hard to see the things in the middle, right? A lot of times we'll see the end of the road. Like God might give us the dream or the vision, and we might be able to see a couple of like like couple of miles down the road, right? But we might not be able to always see the middle, right? And so we're here. We can't see the middle, and sometimes we can see the end. In that journey, that can be hard. Like I'm a visionary, right? I see things clearly. I'm a dreamer. I dream things clearly, right? And so in my dreams and in my visions, a lot of times I'll see something that's complete or see something that's further down the line in its almost finished state. And because I can see it in its finished or almost finished or mature, more mature state, it's hard sometimes for me to move from the beginning spaces to that spot. Does that make sense? Right? We can get caught up in the fact that when we are starting out, it doesn't look like how we saw it for the end, right? But God has often given us that vision that's way down the line, right? It could be 3 months from now, it could be 3 years from now, and it could be 10 years from now, right? That we see that end point, the point that we see it as, but we don't often see ourselves at the starting line. And so sometimes that can get us stuck. We can get stuck right there. Get stuck in the part where we think that it's supposed to already be like that. But you got to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere, right? When builders go to build a house, it doesn't automatically start at the house being complete. They have to till the ground. They have to survey the land. They have to till the ground. They have to set the foundation. They have to put the frame in. They have to like put the concrete down. They have to put walls in. Right? They have a lot of things to do before you see that finished product of a house that's ready to be moved into. And so do we when it comes to our dreams. So don't get stuck at the beginning, right? Don't get stuck at the beginning. Sometimes we're looking um, for God to show us the big things all the time, right? We're looking for God in all the grandiose things. We're looking for God at the with the bells and whistles, and we're looking for him to come through with the marching band and like, here's the thing. Here's the thing that you've been dreaming about, right? And that's not sometimes he does come with the big grandiose thing, right? But a lot of times we get to see God's hand in the small, intricate detail, in the small things, right? Sometimes the big movement has happened in a small way. But if we're not paying attention and watching how God's hand is moving in that small detail, then we might miss a big thing that God did in a small way, right? So don't get so caught up in seeing the big thing. Sometimes it's in the small, intricate details, the small steps forward, the small leaps of faith that lead to big leaps of faith, that big movements are made, right? I know that sounds weird, but it's true. It's true. So, challenges can be difficult, especially when we have some doubt, right? But here's a secret. Sometimes we look at doubt, most times we look at doubt as our enemy. Sometimes it's our ally. Hear me out. Hear me out, right? Sometimes it's our ally. It's a signal that we are pushing our boundaries and that we are stepping out of our comfort zone. And that's where the growth happens. When we move out of our comfort zone, that's where growth happens. Growth can't happen in our comfort zones. That's not how that works, right? Um, the doubt and the fear are our brain's way of telling us, of trying to protect us. Like that's really what it's there for. It does have a purpose, right? It does have a purpose. It's there to protect you. It's there to keep you from danger, right? But sometimes when we're moving out of our comfort zone to do something that's stretching, our brain doesn't know the difference in between us moving into something that's stretching for our good and something that is um, going to hurt us, right? And so we get to tell our brain, hey, it's okay. We're just growing. We're just growing. We're just evolving. We're just changing. We're just developing. We're just moving from here to there, right? And you get to relax for a while. I'm going to allow you to take a back seat in this journey for now, right? Come back when you're needed, right? Because I know that you have a purpose, right? There's a purpose for you being there. But today is not the day that I need you. So go, go ahead and sit in the back seat. And I'm going to navigate this, okay? Right? So we get to talk to fear. We get to talk to doubt. We get to tell it, you know, it's okay. Have a seat in the back, right? Have a seat back there. We don't need you right now, okay? So the next time you're facing a challenging situation, how can you um, not focus on all the big, big steps, right? But break it down into smaller, more manageable steps. That's how we can start to track our progress. And that's how we can start to celebrate the small wins, the small victories. Okay? Remember, you are not alone on this journey. You're not alone. There are other people who are going through similar battles, right? There are other people who are dealing with similar thoughts. There are other people who are going through this journey called life with you. And just because everybody doesn't talk about all the things doesn't mean that they're not fighting something, right? So look for guidance and encouragement from mentors. And we talked about where you can find mentors last week. We talked about the fact that you can, you know, sometimes the mentor is not somebody who's literally right in front of you, right? Sometimes there's somebody who you really, admire, or somebody who you want to teach you, right? But you don't have immediate access to them, but they've written books, right? Or they've developed podcasts, or they've put some form of work out there for you to glean from, for you to grow from, for you to mature from, right? And so you get to use those things as your tools, as your mentoring material, right? So go and get those things from those people, right? If you can't, if your mentor is somebody who's accessible, use them. Like, they reach out to them, call them, text them, whatever it is, and find out um, what you can do to be able to um, add value to them, and in the process, how they can add value to you, right? Friends. We already talked about the friends, so we're going to just say friends, right? Um, and, even people you work with, right? Colleagues, people who also have businesses, people who are also working in similar careers as you. Find people who you can walk alongside with, right? People who can encourage you, and maybe even give you some advice sometimes, right? Help you to see yourself in where you are on this process. So find people who are walking similar paths as you. Their wisdom and their support can and will be invaluable to you on your journey as you conquer the doubt, right? So confidence is the antidote to doubt, right? When you believe in yourself and you trust in God's plan for your life, you radiate positivity, right? You can attract opportunities, and you can even attract success because of your mind shift, because of your confidence. Because when you walk into the room lights up because you bring a light and a glow with you. You bring a confidence and boldness with you when you walk into that room. No one can stop you when you walk in that room because you walk in with your shoulders back and your head held high. You walk in like the king and the queen that you know you are. Huh? So, um, how do you build that unshakable confidence? That's a great question. So, here's something I want you to do. Start to create a list of your achievements and your strengths, right? Refer to it whenever self doubt creeps in. Whenever you feel the doubt, whenever you feel the fear, right? Go back to that list. Surround yourself with people and places and things that empower you, and engage in activities that boost your confidence, right? Um, so when you create your list of your achievements and your strengths, take your time. Remember all the things, right? Because we are really good for leaving things out, right? We are really good for leaving things out. And if you can't think of a lot of things, or you can't think of anything, go ask somebody. Go ask some people around you to help you with your list, because they often will remember something or see something in you that you can't see. So go ask the people around you to assist you in building your list. And when you're surrounding yourself with people, places, and things that empower you, and find out what that is for you. What gives you a sense of boldness? What makes you like really, I got this. I can handle this, right? Who makes you feel like that in your life, right? Who are those people that you can go around and you feel just, you know that I'm that chick, right? Or I'm that dude, right? Who does that for you? Find those things, find those people, find those places, right? And and utilize them often. Go to those places often. Do those things often. Talk to those people regularly. Self-care practices like gratitude exercises, meditation, or physical activities can also be very, very helpful in this journey. I love gratitude exercises. I can't get enough of them. I need them, right? Um, I spend a great deal of time in the morning just being grateful, just talking to God about all the things that I'm grateful for, all the things that I'm thankful for, and it shifts my perspective. Like there have been moments where I am like not feeling it. Like I'm mad or I'm not in the mood to deal with the things or the people or whatever it is. And I'll sit down with my journal and just start writing all the things that I'm grateful to God for. God, I thank you for this. God, thank you for that. God, thank you for this. God, thank you for that. And before I know it, I'm in a state of immense gratitude. And I can't even stop saying thank you because so many things will come up for me that I didn't even think about, things that I missed, that I didn't even think about, that I get to be thankful for. That if I hadn't taken the time to actually stop and write, I would have still been in that funk, right? But I didn't have to because God has been really good to me. God has been really good to me. And I'm sure if you took the time to actually think about all the things that God has done for you, you too would see that God has been good to you too, right? So, gratitude exercises are gold for me. Being grateful is gold for me, right? Meditation is also one of the things for me that is just super helpful on my journey, right? Being able to sit in quiet or even sit with a biblical meditation going on um, where I'm able to just reflect and breathe and think um, and hear, right? Um, this is a whole different conversation, so we're not going to get into it. But in your prayer time, who's doing all the talking? Are you talking all the time? Or is God talking to you? I think that one thing sometimes we forget to do when we pray is take time to listen after we've talked, right? In a conversation, it goes two ways. You talk and I talk, right? Conversations that go vertically happen the same way. I talk and he gets to talk. If I don't make time to sit and be still, then I don't get to hear his voice. So you have to make time to allow him to talk to you and not you be the only one who's having a conversation. Because that's not really a conversation, is it? So, meditation is extremely helpful because I get to hear the voice of God. I get to be still in his presence. I get to quiet myself so that I can hear what God has to say to me. And I don't know about you, but that's super valuable in my journey. I need to hear the voice of God. I have to hear the voice of God. It is imperative for me to hear the voice of God, especially since I didn't give myself these dreams. I didn't give myself these visions. I didn't give myself these ideas. Since I know that God gave them to me, it's behooving of me to submit them all back to the dream giver because he gave them to me. He knows how to work them out. He knows how to orchestrate all the things. He knows how to put all the pieces together. I don't. I don't, right? And so if I can sit in the presence of my Father, right, and find out what He wants to do with the dreams and the visions and the ideas that He's given me, I'm probably going to be able to move things a lot further than if I tried to put my own ideas and my own thoughts and my own plans on top of His, right? That's just my personal opinion for my life, right? But if is helpful for you, then by all means, take it. Um, but yeah. So speaking of meditation, um, I'm going to put a link in the description below for you, where I'm going to attach a meditation for you for overcoming doubt. Um, and if it's helpful for you, let me know. I'd love to just share that resource with you. So I'm going to put that in the description. Use it as you please, right? Use it as you please, but it's going to be there for you. Okay. All right. So, um, and then physical activities. I almost forgot. We're all over the place. Physical activities. So move your body. Move your body, right? Moving your body can be super, super helpful. I go to the gym 2, 3, 4, depending on the week, times a week, right? Definitely 2. Most of the time 3. Um, Sometimes 4 times out of the week. But I also do yoga as a personal practice. And I teach yoga. Teach a yoga devotional called Dreamers Yoga Devo. And I'll also drop some links in the description below for that as well. So if that's something that you would like to use to move your body, use the tool. It's there for you. And let me know how that works for you. Let me know if that's something that you like. But if you don't like that, if that's not something for you, let me know how you move your body. How do you engage in physical activity throughout your week? Let me know what works for you. Let me know in the comments. I'd like to hear from you. I really want to hear from you guys. I don't want to just have a conversation with myself. I really want to talk to you, right? So talk back. Talk back. All right. So here's a challenge for this week for you and for me. So I'm going to do the challenge too. We're going to have a live at some point. Um, it might be the end of this week or the beginning of next week, but we're going to have a live where we're able to talk about some of the things that we may have implemented from this particular podcast in our lives in our week. And I want to hear how it worked for you. And I want to tell you what was working for me. Okay. So we'll talk about that in a live. Um, but here's your challenge for the week. Create a confidence boosting routine, right? You can call it whatever you want to call it, right? But create a confidence boosting routine. Set some time aside for you this week where you can practice self care, and make a conscious effort to remind yourself of your achievements and your capabilities every day. Okay? So set aside some time to practice self care and make a conscious effort to remind yourself of your achievements and your capabilities every day this week. Okay? That's your challenge. That is my challenge to you if you choose to accept this mission. All right. Guys, I'm silly. I really am. Like, I am very silly. And so you're going to get a lot of that in this podcast. We're not always going to be serious. I don't want to live a super serious life. I want to be able to laugh. I want to be able to smile. I want to be able to joke from time to time. Um, so, but that's your challenge for the week. So if you choose to accept, that's what we are going to do. Okay. So, self-doubt is a part of the journey, guys, but it doesn't have to define you or your journey. Embrace your belief, right? In you and who God says that you are, right? Overcome challenges and cultivate confidence to conquer the doubt and chase your dreams fearlessly. Chase your dreams fearlessly. You have boundless potential. You have a world of potential inside of you. Don't be afraid to let that out. We want to see that. The world needs the things that are inside of you. Release the gifts that God has given you to the world. That's what they're there for, right? Be determined, be resilient, and remember that you can achieve anything that you put your mind to. So, dreamer, do not doubt yourself. Embrace your dream, embrace your potential, and embark on a journey of self discovery and growth. Remember, you got this. So, thank you for hanging out with me for another episode of the Dear Dreamer podcast. I hope you found today's episode inspiring and motivating. And remember, you're not alone on this journey, and your dreams are worth pursuing. So, if you enjoyed this episode, please, please feel free to subscribe, like, comment, and share. You never know who this can be beneficial to, right? It helps me also to reach more dreamers like yourself. So, until next time, dear dreamer, keep dreaming, keep believing, and keep pursuing your passions. This is Candace Kamille signing off. Go forth and conquer, and may your day be filled with love, joy, and peace. Take care, dreamer.